many videos start with me wiping my mouth? Probably don't even get it off, do I? And here I am, always whining about how people are just doing the same shit over and over and over again. You know, I was thinking about how morality can't coexist with politics, and it definitely can't coexist with identity. So when you're obsessing about either one of those things, you can't do anything positive for the human race, because people want to make it about politics or they want to make it about identity. So it seems almost natural that those two things would come together and be used as the ultimate weapon on the left. And don't think they don't use it on the right. You know, that's what the Jews are for. So if you even say that, people are like, you know? Why do they have that reaction? Because they think they're supposed to have that reaction. People are reactionaries and they don't even understand their reaction or why they're reacting the way that they are. And so it makes perfect sense that Americans would be outraged behind a screen. They would be outraged while they type. They would be outraged while they text. They would be outraged while they send emoji. Come on. Come on, Toyota. Come on. Come on. I hate it when people have their turn signal on, but they're like so afraid to go. Are you talking about yourself again? No, but you know when like they're letting you go, you know? I think you're talking about yourself again. I probably am. I probably am. It's true. So, yeah, morality is something that is written in our hearts, you know? Like, I used to steal shit. And I did that because of the rush that I got from it. That's the real reason why I did it. I didn't need to steal anything I was stealing. And I was an alcoholic, and being an alcoholic, that kind of opened the doors for other really immoral behavior. Now, I'm not using alcohol as a way to get out of taking responsibility for being shitty in other ways, okay? You know, there are plenty of people that drink alcohol that don't do that. There are plenty of people that ruin their lives with alcohol but still never steal anything from anybody. But anybody that thinks that they can rationalize stealing is not moral, okay? And I know that it was way worse for me because I know what's right and what's wrong. And I remember thinking that the whole time that I was stealing. I was like, you are going to burn in hell. Because you know that this is really bad behavior. You're not behaving this way because you have to do this to survive. you're doing this because you get something out of it. It does something to your brain. I actually read, I think I've mentioned this before, I read that women are more likely to be kleptos because they're trying to, like, relive something in their past, which, you know, makes sense. I mean, y'all know my feelings on sex. A lot of people that have sexual intercourse, it's like they're playing a role, you know? Because sex is a window into the soul, so it figures that if a person that's not into sex gets the same sort of experience by doing other things, then, you know, they would probably be into role playing in other ways. So for me, it was like, I could pretend that I was this, like, total badass that could just, like, walk into a store and, like, look totally, like, unsuspecting, you know, and then, like, walk out with hundreds of dollars of merchandise, you know? And I'm lucky that I stopped when I did, you know? I'm lucky that I got escorted out of a liquor store. I mean, that's actually a pretty cool story now, but the day that it happened was easily the most humiliating day of my life. It felt like Judgment Day, and I think that's really all I needed, you know? Like, I needed to be found out. I needed to be caught in the act for it to have, like, a long-lasting effect on me. Because I think that's a huge problem with a lot of these people. You know, stealing is like the act of lying, basically. It's like lying in the worst way possible, you know? Because you're lying to yourself, like telling yourself that you need these things, and then you're lying to the world, you know, about who you are. And anybody that exposes you for who you are, it's like, yeah, that's all I needed. Just that one day of being recognized as a thief and a total piece of shit that could rationalize something like that. You know, stealing from some mom and pop liquor store when I swore up and down that I was only going to steal from corporations, because fuck corporations, right? Fuck the man. Well, if your lack of morality is going to allow you to steal anything at all, like, don't think that, like, your lack of morality can't have morality. You know what I mean? Like, you're doing something that's in the absence of morality, so you can't pretend that you're doing it for the right reason. You know, because I was like this about, you know, capitalism, and I've met a lot of people like this about capitalism, that they think that if they steal from some, you know, mega corporation like Walmart, that they're actually doing the world a lot of good because Walmart's evil. And, like, I get it. I get that kind of mindset, and Walmart is evil. But what's also evil is doing something that you know is immoral, something that you know is wrong, all because you think that these people are so bad that you're gonna prove it by being bad too. You know, it literally makes no sense, but it's also really narcissistic too. I know I always talk about narcissism, but yeah, like, whenever you make yourself the arbiter of right and wrong. Like you cancel out like the general notion of what right and wrong is, and you say no, because I disagree with this, because I disagree with what these people are doing, I can do something that is generally thought of as stealing, you know? Well, it's not stealing. It's not stealing because it's from Walmart, you know? I know I say that a lot. I joke. It doesn't even cross my mind to do it anymore, which is kind of cool. I will say this though, with this whole kiosk situation that they got going on everywhere, it's going to be super easy for people to get away with that. Because most people are on their phones and they're not paying attention to anything. So if people want to steal things, now's the time, you know? Because when you have one person like working a kiosk in the front, and you have what, like 10 different people on 10 different kiosks, and sometimes you have multiple people at one kiosk. It'd be so easy for people. I probably shouldn't be mentioning this. You remember your old YouTube channel, Aimless? You literally taught people how to steal. Yeah, I went to Walmart and I basically like showcased like how to steal makeup. Like I said, God always gets the last laugh because you know, that was my like liberal degenerate channel, okay? Now, I don't think that all liberals make excuses for stealing, and I don't think they all make excuses for violence and you know, really shitty, you know, illicit behavior. But I think that because like the nature of the left is a total lack of morality, like it's not based in God, okay? And if it's not based in God, then I don't really think that people have solid ground. And so, you know, it's just way too easy for everybody's morality, or reality, rather, everybody's reality to be manipulated. And once reality becomes manipulated, then anything goes. Then people can rationalize doing any terrible thing. So, if people can't even make a decision on what reality is, how is morality going to exist anyway, you know? The reason why I talk about my past life is I want people to know that it's possible to change, and it's possible to grow, and it's possible to look at yourself and go, you're a piece of shit, and you should either kill yourself or become a better person, you know? Because anybody that's doing things like that, whether it's stealing shit all the time or engaging in, you know, some sort of addiction that they know is really bad for them, like there's a lot of proof that things aren't working out, and they keep engaging in that behavior, you know, obviously that's suicidal. Obviously, like, these people don't value their life very much, you know? I know that I definitely did. So, and it's not because I didn't believe in God either, you know? I actually think in certain ways it's a lot worse. Because, like, you'd think that somebody with a massive guilt complex, such as myself, wouldn't do things like steal shit, but you'd be surprised. Especially under the influence of alcohol. Like, once you get influenced from something or someone that can make irrational behavior seem rational, then like, what's gonna stop you? And all the good people in your life that are trying to save your life, you're just going to see them as your enemy. That's why you got to be really careful. You got to be really careful the way you talk to people. Because, you know, most people aren't ready for the come to Jesus speech. They're not ready for that. I mean, I think I told y'all about this girl that I used to work with that I'm pretty sure stole some stuff from me. And the reason why I assume this is because every time things came up missing, she was working the same shift with me. And I just got this vibe from her, right? I just got this vibe. And I think that she resented me because I was a Christian. Like, she saw me reading the Bible and it really bothered her. And so, even though I never did anything to her personally, I'm sure that in her mind, she could easily rationalize stealing shit from me because I was a Christian, you know? So I deserved it, right? It's okay. We forgive. We forgive. I can't get mad at somebody for stealing from me. I have stolen way too much shit to get mad about that. But I try to confront her not about stealing in relation to me, because I couldn't prove that, and I really didn't feel like it was my right to even say anything, you know, considering my past life. But I know that she stole shit because she literally admitted it. Because I said to myself, Amy, if she's stealing, like, she's not gonna be able to help herself. She's gonna have to talk about it. Because that was my biggest issue when I was doing that. It's like, it really bothered me that I couldn't tell everybody that I was stealing. And, you know, it's like there's this really sick part of you that, like, wants to brag about all these terrible things that you're doing. But yeah, she was in the break room one day, and she was like bragging about these rings that she had, and she was like, I stole them. It's fuck capitalism. And I walked up to her and I was like, girl, you sound like myself. You sound like the way that I used to be. Because I used to steal shit all the time. But you know that all the crap products that you steal, like, aren't going to make capitalism go away. You know? And she's like, yeah, I know. She put in her 2 weeks that night. I'd like to think that I'm the reason why she put in her 2 weeks. Because it made her uncomfortable that I, like, exposed her. Did you expose her, though? I mean, you made her uncomfortable because you basically revealed to her that her logic was totally flawed, you know? I mean, she quit because she couldn't handle this job because she's too sensitive. Yeah, dude. She's on medication, she's still crying. That's how I knew she had borderline personality disorder. Medication doesn't work on people with personality disorders. Like, I remember her asking me, like, how I dealt with my stuff so well. And I told her, well, I just don't play the victim about it. Like, I don't see myself as a victim because I struggle with things. And she couldn't believe that. Like, she was just, like, so shocked that I don't sit around and feel sorry for myself because things are hard sometimes. I mean, if things were hard, I don't think anything would be worth it, you know? That's why stealing is dumb, because if you don't work for any of that, it's like if the only thing you're working at is like not getting caught for being a piece of shit, and you're just working at your rationalizations, you're working at your like justification or whatever. I guess that's the same thing, rationalization and justification. But yeah, I mean, that life is way harder. Like, when you try to make things easier, you make them way harder on yourself. And that's why you need, like, shitty political beliefs to justify the way that you behave. Because people that have political views that go along with God are not going to be like, yeah, it's totally fine that you stole from that corporation because, you know, they're evil. And, you know, that's why I make these points about the right, how, like, it's really, like, not that much more moral than the left. Because when you have small businesses that are being mowed down by these, you know, multi-billion-dollar corporations that get government subsidies, like, that's not moral at all. But, you know, obsessing about money and obsessing about status and obsessing about, you know, popularity and all that, that's not really moral, because you're basing your value, or you're basing another person's value on the amount of money they make or how high up they are on the social ladder or whatever. You know, so I think that there's a lot that you could say about, you know, the lack of morality coming from all directions. But I don't know. That's why I gotta just believe in Jesus, you know? That's why that's the most important thing to me, because that's where my salvation comes from. And I don't think that you have to believe in Jesus to be moral. I mean, there are plenty of people that supposedly believe in Jesus, but they don't really, you know, act in ways that coincide with that belief system. You know, just like there are people that don't believe in that seem like they do. So that just kind of proves that morality is written in our hearts, like whether we want to acknowledge God or not. But I know people will fight me on that. Like I said, I really don't care what you believe or don't believe. As long as you're a decent person, that's really all that matters. Like, you can say that decency is because of this or that, but it's really because you chase the good part of yourself that comes from God. Whether or not you believe that is immaterial, you know? Like, things happen whether we believe that they happen or not. You know? Like, that tree still fell in the fucking forest. I don't care what anybody says.